What is up guys, it's Cal, and in this video we'll be talking about becoming the SCARAB Lord. In Classic WoW of course. Now even if you aren't a Classic player, I'm sure you've heard of the SCARAB Lord before. The long and arduous quest chain in vanilla WoW that still has significance today. Well, with the grind starting up on Classic, I think now would be the opportune time to tell everyone how to become the SCARAB Lord, and even acquire the black AQ mount if you so choose. Now it isn't easy. Let's get that out of the way. I've been playing WoW since vanilla, and this is hands down the longest grind and chain to ever be introduced. I think the second would be the time I got Insane in the Membrane title. This quest chain is comprised of 32 quests, which involve going into other raids, so you do need a raid team to do it as well. And now here's a shopping list of materials that you can go ahead and get if you'd like. You'll need these later on in the quest chain. You'll need 20 Arcanite bars, 10 Elementium ore, 10 Azerothian diamonds, 10 blue sapphires, 20 goblin rocket fuel, 20 deep rock salt, and 20 Chimeric tenderloin that you can get during one of the parts of the quest chain. So first up, you want to head to Cenarian Hold in Silithus. Here you'll talk to Baristolth of the Shifting Sands, and he'll give you the quest What Tomorrow Brings. Upon accepting this quest, you'll be hated by the Brood of Nozdormu. He'll want you to go to the Cavern of Time and see ANACHRONOS. So you do just that. Head to ANACHRONOS, the quest will be marked complete, then head back to Baristolth. Turn your quest in and you'll get only one May Rise. This is your first raid quest. You'll need to get the head of the Broodlord Lashlayer from Broodlord Lashlayer, the third boss in Blackwing Lair. Now this head that he drops, surprise surprise, he only drops one, so only one person in your raid will be able to get it. We're 2 quests in and it's already difficult. I can't stress this enough that your raid should designate who gets the head prior to the fight, or however you want to do it. The drama this can stir can definitely break up guilds and friendships. Once you get the head, bring it back to Baristolth, and it gives you the Path of the Righteous. Talking to him will give you the Agent of Nozdormu badge. This will allow you to get Silithus carapace fragments from the Silithids around Silithus. For this quest, you'll need 200 of them. Everyone and their grandma will be killing these, so it's going to be competitive. Now they aren't BOP, so you can trade them. You can send them to alts, you can put them on the auction house, but you'll just want to massacre the Silithid population until you get 200 of them. Turn them into Baristolth, and he'll give you a proxy of Nozdormu. Now the quest you did becomes repeatable, and you want to do it over and over, until you're neutral with a Brood of Nozdormu. This will allow you to continue the quest line. So how many turns will this take exactly? This is where it pays off to be a human. So after completing your last quest, you should be at 700 out of 36,000 hated with the Brood of Nozdormu. 770 out of 36,000 if you're human. To get neutral, you'll need 41,300 more rep or 41,230 more rep as a human. So you'll need to turn that quest in another 207 times, 188 times as a human, which requires another 41,400 carapace fragments, or 37,600 as a human. Man, I wish I was a human. Now this proxy of Nozdormu that you got for turning the quest in the first time can be used on friendly players, trusted players that you paid off to help you with this. This will allow them to farm the fragments as well, and they can trade them to you. Now once you've hit neutral, congrats, you can finally play the game. Talk to Baristolth again and he'll give you the quest ANACHRONOS. This requires you to speak to ANACHRONOS, so go back to the Caverns of Time and do that. While you're here, you'll get a fancy ring. Then he gives you the quest Long Forgotten Memories. Go back to Silithus to the southern wall where the AQ gates are, and there will be a crystal tier. Turn your quest into it for the quest A Pawn on the Eternal Board. You'll watch some RP and then head back to ANACHRONOS to turn it in. He gives you the quest The Charge of the Dragonflights. You speak to him again to turn it in, and you're done. Not even halfway close. Now you need to get 3 Scepter fragments. Let's start with the red Scepter first, probably the easiest. You'll need to head into BWL again, and this time to the second boss, Valistraza. So you do need to wait for reset. You'll speak to the dragon and a 5-hour time will start. You need to defeat Nefarian within that timer to get to the red Scepter shard. So do that, and there you go. That's 1 of 3. You can then turn it into ANACHRONOS. Now for the green Scepter shard, you'll need some friends to help you kill elites, plus a raid for the very end. So you'll want to head into Sunken Temple. You don't need to clear the incense, just head to the Shade of Aranicus boss. Approach the Shade and Malfurion Stormrage will appear. He'll give you the quest Aranicus Tyrant of the Dream. Head to Teldrassil to speak to the Forest Wisp, which is north of the road heading to Darnassus. Sorry Horde players, you gotta do this as well. You just gotta hitch a ride on the Teldrassil boat from Darkshore and run through the pretty purple tree into Darnassus while guards attack you. But anyways, once you make it to the Forest Wisp, turn your quest in and get the quest Tyrande and Romulos. Now head to Moonglade and speak with Keeper Romulos. Get the quest The Nightmare Corruption. This will require a group of players to kill mobs with 60 to 80k health. Then the final part requires a raid group. First, you'll want to head to the Bow Shadow in northeastern Ashenvale and kill the Dragonkin there. They have a very low chance to drop Ashenvale's fragment of Nightmare's Corruption. Then you'll head to the Dreambow in northern Fairless and do the same thing. Kill the Dragonkin for a low chance for that one to drop. Then to Ceridane in northeastern Hinterlands for the same deal. Then finally to Duskwood. The Twilight Grove in the center of Duskwood is your last location. When you enter the grove while on the quest, this will make a Twilight Corruptor spawn. You'll need a raid to kill him. Bare minimum of 25 people, but with 40 it actually won't be that difficult. And surprise surprise, he only drops one fragment. Same goes for the Dragonkin on the previous parts. Once you've collected all 4, go back to Keeper Romulos in Moonglade to turn your quest in. Next, he'll give you the quest The Nightmare Manifests. This will still require your raid, so this causes an event where you have to defend Moonglade until Tyrande arrives. It fails if any of the important NPCs die. Once defended, you can turn it in for the green Scepter Shard. You can then turn that into ANACHRONOS. Now finally, the blue Scepter Shard. Most time consuming. You'll need to head to Azshara to the Spirit of Azure-Ghost. He's where Azure-Ghost can spawn. He'll give you the magical ledger, which will begin the quest. Azure-Ghost is a magical ledger. Then head to Tanarus, just north of Steamwheel Port, to Narain Soothfancy to turn it in. You'll get the quest Translating the Ledger, which you just talked to Narain again to turn it in, and 3 quests will open up. Stuvul, ex-BFF, Never Ask Me About My Business, and DRACONIC for Dummies. Go ahead and accept these quests and we'll do them in order from shortest to longest. Stuvul, ex-BFF, first. Head to the Greyman Wall in Silverpine Forest and find the inconspicuous crate near the gates of Yelneas. Talk to the crate and turn in the quest, and then get the quest Scrying Goggles, no problem. This quest will require you to get Narain's Scrying Goggles out of Molten Core. Now these can drop from any mob in Molten Core, any trash mob, any boss, even Majordomo's chest. Only one person can loot it, and Master Loot won't affect it because it's a white item. So you'll want to get a large group of players. I'd recommend against an entire 40-man raid, and just farm trash until you get it. Once you got it, you've completed that quest. Now let's do Never Ask About My Business. Head to Gadgetan and speak to Dirge Quickcleave in the inn. He'll then give you the quest The Isle of Dread, which requires a group. You'll head to the Island of Dread in Fairless, which is south of Featherman's Stronghold. Here you'll be grinding out enemies to get those 20 Chimerok Tenderloins. You'll also need to kill Lord Lochmaron, who has 323k. This is mainly why you needed a group. The Tenderloin is not buy on pickup, so you can always buy it off the auction house if needed. Once that's completed, head back to Dirge and Gadgetan to turn it in and get the quest Dirge's Kitchen Chimerok Chops. This is where you turn in your 20 Goblin Rocket Fuel and 20 Deep Rock Salt I mentioned at the beginning. Talk to Dirge again and get the quest Return to Narain. He'll give you a 500-pound chicken and just head back to Narain, north of Steamwheel Port, to turn it in, and you're done with this part. Then Draconic for Dummies. This quest will want you to go to an island south of Tanarus to turn in. It's not that easy because there's a particular path you need to take, and once you get to that beach, you'll see an island in the distance that will kill you with fatigue if you try to swim over to it, even if you're a mage with blink and swim speed potions. So what you'll need to do instead is look in the waters for Meredith the Mermaiden. She's in the waters around that area. She gives you the quest Love Song for Narain. So she'll give you a letter that you just need to bring back to Narain. And once that's completed, head all the way south again to Meredith, talk to her, and she gives you a 3-minute buff that increases your swim speed by 150%. Use this to make it safely to the island. You'll turn your quest into the freshly dug dirt and then accept a new quest, Ransom. And then head back to Narain to turn it in and get the quest Decoy. He'll give you a special kit which has a robe in it, a turban, a map, and a bag of gold. You might want a friend to help you with this part since you have to kill an enemy, but if your class can kite, like a hunter or a mage, you should be fine. Take all these supplies and head to Winterspring. A little south Winterspring, there's a map on the screen now. You'll place the bag of gold at the end of this path overlooking a cliff. A gorilla named Number 2 will come out and you have to fight him. He can just be kited, so kill him and you're good. Head back to Narain, turn your quest in, and he'll give you the only prescription, which is the hardest part. You'll need a group for some parts of it and a raid group for others. You'll scour Azeroth for 8 chapters of a book. So first off with chapter 1, you'll go to Dr. Weevil on Alcaz Island in Dustwallow Marsh. He will require a small raid to defeat unless you have a group of 5 that are just decked out. Once he's dead, he drops chapter 1. Then head to Blasted Lanes and kill any of the demons in the Tainted Scar. They have a low chance for it to drop. Chapter 3 is in Dark Whisper Gorge and Winterspring off any demon. Still a low drop chance. Chapter 4 is on a table in Undercity. You can get it even while in combat, so Alliance players getting this will want to come in through the sewers. And Chapter 5 is in Stormwind City. You'll go into the library and Stormwind Keep, and same deal for Horde players. Chapter 6 drops off Onyxia, so you'll obviously need a raid group for this. Only one will drop. And chapter 7 is picked up off a table in Blackwing Lair. It's the room right past the Broodlord near the Alchemy Lab, and then chapter 8 drops off Ragnaros in Molten Core. Once again, only one will drop. Once you have all those chapters, use your magical book binding to obtain the Draconic for Dummies Volume 2, and go back to Narain, north of Steamwhistleport, to turn it in. Now once all 3 of those quests are turned into Narain, you'll get the quest, the good news and the bad news. You'll want to turn in all those items I mentioned at the start. Once done, you get the quest Wrath of Neptulon. All those items create an Arcanite buoy for you to use, and for this part you'll want a raid of at least 25. Head to Ashara in the Center Ocean area and use the Arcanite buoy. This will summon Maz. It's a pretty straightforward fight. You'll want a couple of hunters with Trank Shot due to his Frenzy ability, but once he's dead, he'll drop the blue Scepter shard, and only one shard will drop. Then take it to ANACHRONOS, then the final step. To open the gates, you will now get the quest, the Might of Kalimdor. This quest will award you the treasure you've been looking forward to this entire time, the Scepter of the Shifting Sands, what you've been going for this entire quest chain. Or maybe the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. Or something. The first person to complete this chain on each realm will become the SCARAB Lord, which honestly doesn't mean a whole lot until Burning Crusade comes out, since you'll be able to use the title then. But then everyone who rings the gong within the first 10 hours that the first person rings it will get the black AQ mount, along with the first person who rings it, of course. So that's some interesting stuff. It's very time consuming, but that's it. The entire SCARAB Lord quest chain. Now this chain can still be completed after the 10-hour period, you just won't get the mount. It's more for the experience. So if you plan on going for it, you can leave it in the comments below, or if you got about 2 minutes through this video and thought, yeah, I'm not doing that, you can let me know in the comments as well. But that's the entire video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like on it. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.